This conference will now be recorded.
I hope everyone can hear me clearly, guys. If anybody is facing any technical issues like related to audio, related to screen share, you can please interrupt in between, like whoever is facing this audio or let's say screen sharing issue, guys. Okay. Any which ways, I will be going little bit in detail about what exactly we are going to have it. Okay, so I am opening one Sublime. Okay, wherein I'll be discussing about high level discussion about you can say Cypress automation. Okay, Cypress so today's day one, guys. Okay, I hope everyone can see my screen. If you want the font to be increased, please let me know, guys. Okay.
Sure.
Okay. So I just want to, you can say, go through the curriculum again, like for this particular course, so that everyone are on same page. Let me go through the link. I hope you guys have went through the link, but still, let me kind of reiterate the whole things. Okay. So if everyone are aware, right, you might have went through this website wherein it contains the complete detail about what would be the curriculum. Okay, the course structure, the content, and the fees, what is the duration. So everything will be mentioned over here. So just to give you quick overview, guys, with respect to the topics which is going to let's say covered in this whole you can say Cypress course. Okay, it will start with JavaScript. Okay, we have Cypress supported with the two programming languages. One is JavaScript and other is TypeScript. But we will be purely, let's say, focusing on the JS, guys. Okay, with respect to TypeScript, we have like little change or let's say some modification with respect to syntax. Otherwise the concept codes, you can say the coding concept, everything, the programming structure, folder structure, everything will remain same. The only thing is like syntax wise there is a change in TS, guys. Okay, TypeScript. We will be purely focusing on JS. We will cover JS from basic. Okay, like what all like basics: while loop, do while loop, iterative loop, if statements, conditional statement, how we are achieving inheritance. Okay, how to create classes, how we can use those classes into the other test cases. Okay, so we will cover mostly like basics of JS, JavaScript, and if like we will be sharing some coding exercise as well, like which is with respect to JS, what all things you need to have before you can, let's say, start with your Cypress automation. Okay, so the very first thing is we will try to go through the basics of JS. Then we will jump to module 2, wherein we will speak about Cypress, which like Cypress integrations and obviously its advantage. Okay, and you will be we will start with obviously the architecture, how the architecture works, what are the benefit advantage of Cypress, how to do the setup like installation process, which editor we will be kind of focusing on, and obviously we will talk about you can say how the runner is configured, what is dashboard, or you can say now it is not dashboard, actually it is Cypress Cloud actually. So how to set up this once, it is a one time process, guys. Once it is done, all the project related activity whatever we will do in our workspace. All the practice part, real time coding at the same time for all the types of scenarios whatever we have, right? Then we will integrate our JS code with our Cypress, right? So we will have the npm, guys, node package module, which will be responsible for playing around with all test cases, which will use the basic concept of JS, as well as like we will try to use them into our web elements, such as you can say radio button, drop downs, whatever web element you usually come across into your real-time web application. Okay, so we will talk about this. Then we will talk about how we can run through command line interface, basically instead of UI, right? How we can have the CLI command. Cypress has got a lot of CLI commands. Okay, we will discuss this in detail. Instead of running via UI, how we can run our test case without like you can consider headless mode. Okay, what all are the browsers supported by Cypress? We will discuss this in detail. How we can write our the complete you can say command and assign to one of the variable, how to use those variable into our you can say CLI part. Then you can consider the assertions. What is the purpose of global config property? What are hooks in Cypress? How to handle invisible element? How to use logs? What is cy.logs? All those commands. How to handle mouse event, keyboard event, file upload, fixture, data driven, creating your custom command. So this is you can consider very important module, guys, with respect to Cypress. So all this will be like real-time example with the demo application. Okay, we will obviously have a lot of demo application, demo URL. On those demo URL, we will be going to perform all this activity. Okay, once we are done with the UI part, guys, we will obviously discover, or let's say talk about complete POM, that is page object model, along with Cucumber style of writing. Okay, we will discuss two framework with respect to UI. One is page object model, second is page object model with BDD style of writing. Like we will have the BDD Cucumber for your UI project. Okay, then we will jump into basics of API. Okay, what is API? How to work with manual testing. You can consider using Postman. I know like most of you are already aware about that. How we can use all those collections, whatever you have created into your Postman to the Cypress, and how we can execute the respective test cases, whatever you are doing in PM, guys, Postman. Okay, then we can consider passing the variables using JSON, stringify, JSON, NPM, all those which is required for playing around with the variables which are showing up in the response of the API. And then we have the various assertions which we need to kind of perform on the API. So once it is done, we will be kind of creating the API framework as well. Okay, after that we have few frameworks in place. Usually I consider three frameworks, two for UI, one for API. Okay, and we will follow the Cucumber style of writing, BDD style of writing, which will consist of feature file and the step definition file, and how we can read the data from our fixture folder in the form of JSON, Excel. So that particular folder structure we will have. And after that we have the Mocha Epsom report, guys, which is obviously the plugin which is provided by Cypress under NPM. How to set up that HTML report and how we can add the screenshot to the HTML report. Okay, we have the one more topic, how to handle the source code management, that is SCM, obviously on GitHub. Okay, and how we can do the versioning. And over here one topic is missing, guys, that is Cypress Cloud actually. Okay, so Cypress Cloud and Cypress Dashboard both are same. Cypress Cloud actually it's a paid topic. Usually like one resource is free, but if you are trying to invite multiple user to that Cypress Cloud dashboard, it is having some you can say amount per month, per year, something like that. So we will obviously talk about using only single user, what is Cypress Cloud, how it is managing and maintaining your complete repo which you have created for API, UI, whether it is in POM, whether it is BDD, whatever structure. Okay, so it will be kind of usually like around 30 sessions I am considering. Okay, it can be here and there. The reason is obviously that depends upon the doubts, and obviously real time you stuck somewhere, so those type of things I'm considering one plus extra 1 week, okay, like you can consider around 5 hours more extra to that 30 hours. Because but yes, ideally it will be getting you can say completed within 30 hours. But if you guys got any doubt, query, questions, right, then we will be kind of having the doubt solving session as well, wherein we will try to kind of have some complicated test case if required, and we will make sure that everybody has created the framework, or let's say updated the framework, and everybody are able to kind of run their respective test case, create a new test case, and update the existing as well. So and yes, on the completion you will get the respective certificates, guys. Okay, so I'll stop here. I would like to ask, is there any doubts, queries, questions which you want to highlight, guys? You can
Uh,
unmute and
s-
speak up. Yeah.
yeah, thanks. So all the sessions will be recorded, right? Will be given to the students, right?
Yes, all the session will be recorded. The session will be ideally like we are keeping for 1 hour 45 minutes to 2 hour per day. It will be only on Saturday and Sunday. Okay, and we are keeping around a window of 10 to 15 minutes for, let's say, if you got any doubts, queries, questions, so that they can stay on the session and they can share your screen and ask your doubts. Okay, but yes, all the sessions will be recorded. The recording will be provided to you the next day. Okay, I mean not next day, actually it will be directly on Monday actually. Okay, so on Monday you will get both the recording. Okay, like before 1 or 12 ist, okay, in the morning. So it will be like 2 hour recording, so total 4 hours recording for each weekend. Like each weekend we will have 4 hours, right? So you will get the recording by Monday before 1 p.m. ist.
Okay.
Yes. So recording sessions that will be having, you will be having to the access to those recording lifetime. Whenever you kind of need to refer whatever we have covered, or let's say you missed the session due to some reason or something, right? You can refer those recording anytime. And in between, because I know that between Saturday Sunday to the next Saturday Sunday we have almost like 5 days, right? So it's a long gap actually, right? You are practicing and you are stuck somewhere, right? So what you can do is you can share your doubts, queries, questions over the group. Okay, or let's say over the one to one also you will get the WhatsApp support as well. And if required we can connect one to one depending on like availability, and you can share your screen and you can kind of ask your doubts.
Thank you. On couple of questions more. So, will you teach even integrating of extend report or alloy report when it comes to the reporting part, or is it just HTML? Sorry, report.
So Allure and Extend Report are the part of Selenium actually. Okay, in Cypress we have like the Mocha Awesome report. Okay, which is
Okay.
the plugin which is provided by the node package manager. Okay, we will see
Mhm.
the integration of Mocha Awesome report to our actual framework, that is POM framework. And we will be also seeing Cypress Cloud, which is also generating the report at the end of the execution. And there is one more report called as JSON report, right? So if required we can consider that as well. If you have some other external plugin, right, which is kind of available on our npm website. Okay, if we are able to integrate and if that is generating some other type of report also, we will cover that as well.
Okay. Thank you. And you
Yeah.
said 30 hours of training, right? So which comes almost 2 months of weekends, right?
It comes around like 16 2 months, 32
Yeah.
you can consider.
Yeah.
Okay, so
Yeah.
ideally it is 32, but it will complete like before that, that's what I'm saying. Okay, it will be
Okay.
getting completed usually, like my last training got completed in 26 hours. Prior to that, it got completed in 27 or 28 hours, something like that. Prior to that, for sure.
Okay. So so as you said, Monday to Friday will be a practicing thing, right? So are we going to get any assignments or to work on any
Yes.
of the things parallelly?
So once we kind of start with our actual Cypress framework, whatever topic we will be covering, let's say a topic on drop down, a topic on radio button, or a topic on locator, right? So
Mhm.
you will get few activity with respect to open source application, okay, wherein you
Okay.
need to kind of create your code, and if possible, usually I request you guys to kind of create a your repo, okay, with your personal email address, and you can kind of share. If it is working fine, it is fine. If you are stuck somewhere or something like that, right, you can ask your query doubt by uploading your respective code over the repo. You can share the repo url,
Okay. Fine.
github
Fine.
repo
Thanks.
basically. Yeah,
Yeah. Yeah. Got it. Thanks. Sorry.
Uh, Great. I got a question. Uh,
go ahead please.
okay, basically, I am pretty much looking with, are we going to cover any backend, like with the
Back
database?
we will be covering the integration of SQL DB, okay, like to execute our SQL query. Okay, we
Mhm.
will try to obviously cover the intercept cy.request cy.intercept. Those will
Yeah.
be purely performing the API part. If you
So,
are looking for microservices or something, correct?
mhm. Yeah, that's
For
correct.
that, you need to have the Swagger for your application. If you
Hmm.
have the Swagger, then we can integrate that Swagger into our Cypress API framework.
Oh, we got that opportunity. That's great.
Yes,
Okay,
correct.
that's great. Thanks. And second thing is, so when we covering like the Mocha framework within Cypress, are we going
Mm-hmm.
to use like complete structure in the sense? What I mean is, be using the NV files for the POM model, and also
Mm-hmm.
like classes where we can write down like because now Cypress is pretty much got two things we can do like component and also end to end in the
Yes.
framework. So what how we are like what this course
Mm-hmm.
leads us to do.
Yes, our focus will be purely on POM actually, okay, because 85 to 90% of the people in the industry
Mhm.
right now they are kind of having like popularity with the POM kind of writing. So we will our focus will be actually on end to end
Mhm.
instead of component, okay. And
Yeah.
whatever folder structure right now is popular in the market with respect to fixture, then you have download, then you have e2e, then you have something called as support, right? We will follow the same structure, but
Mhm.
the internal folder structure that we can play around, okay, whether you want
Yeah.
to create sub component, you want to create for API something else, right, that we can play around, that we
Yeah,
will
yeah.
do.
I can take that over like offline. It's just basically
Mhm.
like I am looking like with like NV files and stuff where we can load everything. And my interest is pretty much like with backend, especially with like when we got some type of like automations within the code or like cron scripts running around. Uh,
Mhm.
but yeah, is that like support you can provide like
Yes,
you know
like
not only
you can
here
kind of
offline
ask.
also I can take.
Yes, right. That is
Oh,
like we can check over that. No problem.
all right. Yeah, because I am dealing with Django, so there are a
Yeah.
lot of automations. You
Yes.
might be aware of that. All right. Thank you very much. Yeah, that's it for me. Cheers.
Yeah. Uh, any more queries, guys?
Like I just have one question. So like if you are using a Cypress, like what is the more advantage when compared to other tools like Pay? We have also have Playwright with JavaScript and Selenium with Java. That's one question. The other question is like if this Cypress is a open source tool, or also we also have paid versions in this. That are my couple of questions in regards to.
Okay. So coming to your first query, question, doubt, which is obviously why we are kind of why we will be kind of referring to Cypress. So the answer you will I'll obviously I need to cover that any which ways. So the first thing what usually I do is like I usually go to the official website of Cypress. Okay, why we are referring to Cypress, why the reason of that. So you will see some advantage which is written in a lane format, swim lane format, right? So why we are let's say referring over Selenium, I would say, not over Playwright. Okay, because Cypress and Playwright almost like the coding structure, folder structure, almost it is same. The only changes is at the speed level, or like there are some few changes at the architect level. Okay, otherwise Playwright and Cypress you can consider almost like 80% of them the tool level, because any which ways Playwright also support like JS as well as PS. It support other PL as well, other programming language. But yeah, most of the QA are kind of considering JS as their primary PL programming language when they consider Cypress or Playwright. Okay, so if you compare this with Selenium, guys, the advantage what I want to highlight to you guys is it will directly run your test case into your browser. You don't need to have the external you can say .exe file what we used to do in Selenium, right? That is not required. It will be the actual how your application will behave when the real user is trying to access them in the browser. Okay, so that is like the first advantage. Second advantage is you will get the test case getting passed within less than a minute, because Cypress and Selenium, if you compare, if Selenium is taking 1 minute, okay, then Cypress will take 1 upon 10 of 1 minute. So it will try to pass, or it will try to execute your test case in 10x faster, guys. Okay, so your test case will be executing obviously 10x faster. Then we have the debug failure directly in the browser. Okay, if you got any types of exceptions or something, right, what we have is we have the real time snapshot of those particular screens in the Cypress. So you will be able to see where at what step your code got stuck, your at what step we are not able to move to the next step. So that is provided at real time. So that is actually in the browser itself. Okay, so you don't need to kind of go to your code and check at what step it is failing. So you will get the issue or failure or error into your Cypress runner, and from that Cypress runner you will have the high level understanding where my code is not working, and after that you can your editor. Then we have the advantage, fourth advantage is it is eliminating flaky test. So flaky test means like it is running in the first attempt. In second attempt, it is getting pass as well as it is getting fail. In third attempt, it is kind of running fine. And in fourth attempt, it got failed 2 times and pass 1 time. So we will be kind of avoiding those flaky tests by comparing the versions, right? So we will obviously get the complete understanding of flaky tests, what are those, and how we are avoiding via using Cypress. Now the last advantage, or I would say very big advantage, it is having good support with all the type of CI/CD as well as SCM. Whether it is Jenkins, whether it is Circle CI, GitLab, GitHub, uh, all type of tools are supported, and we are able to integrate all type of CI/CD as well as source code management tool. Even Cypress Cloud, which is like the paid version, okay, that is also free for single user. But if you have like more than one user, that particular service is a paid one. Okay, so these are the advantage with respect to Cypress, and there are obviously more advantage, guys. We will talk about that later. And coming to your second question, is there any paid service? The answer is yes. The Cypress Cloud, guys, it is having the logic of paid. Okay, so you can consider Cypress Cloud. You can see over here like 67 USD. 14-day trial is free, but after that they will be used like charging this particular amount. Okay, so this particular service is paid one. Other than that, whatever we are referring, because Cypress is an open source, guys. Okay, but only thing is the Cypress cloud service which is provided by Cypress guy, that particular service is a paid one. That's it.
Like when you are referring here to the Cypress cloud, the normal Cypress, which is a open source, like is there any difference between these two, paid version and normal one? Like in
See,
case of some fun.
Cypress open source means you are open, you can write n number of test cases, n number of scenarios, hundreds of whatever you want. You will be able to have it into your open source environment, wherein you will be following one of the editor tool and you will be focusing on Cypress architecture. Okay. When I say Cypress Cloud, guys, Cypress Cloud is not referring to your coding level, like you are not doing any coding over here. Okay, this is something you can consider a dashboard actually. Okay, so at high level, just to show you, so it will be a simple dashboard wherein you will be able to see some of the test case, how those are running, how it is, how many are getting passed, how many are getting fail. You will get the real time, you can say, dashboard like feel. You will have the detail, you can say, if you have ran hundreds of time, all those hundreds ran, whatever you have done, it will get recorded with the videos, with the screenshot, whatever changes you want to do, where, at what point your assertions are failing, everything will be in the single dashboard. That's what Cypress Cloud is all about, guys. Cypress Cloud is nothing but a kind of dashboard, guys. Okay, here we are not doing any type of coding or anything, guys. Okay, it is just for referring, and you can say you are providing this snapshot and everything to the project stakeholder, so that they can understand weekly basis how many test cases are getting fail, flaky, how many are failing, all those high level numbers, right? You can provide with the graphical, this is like the pie chart, the line chart, whatever you want, you can provide that to respective stakeholder of the project. Okay, it has nothing to do with the code part, guys. Okay, please understand that.
So you mean to say like just to generate a report that Cypress cloud will be useful, right? You mean to say
Yes,
to.
yes.
Another advantage you are trying to tell at the first point, in Selenium we create some kind of some .exe files and you are referring to that has something advantage in the Cypress. Could you please repeat regarding that something? I was not sure about something that.
So in Cypress is having the support, or let's say whatever test case you are triggering, right? All the test case will be triggering into your real-time browser. Okay, real-time browser, as in you can execute your test case similar to what real user will be doing when he is trying to open the application, entering the username, entering the password, clicking the login button. So all this scenario, whatever I told, right, it will be in the real browser. Okay, wherein it will be not like, because Selenium has an architecture of kind of converting that whole code in the form of JSON, right? Then Selenium driver will understand that JSON language, and then it will interact with the browser. Okay, and then browser will obviously kind of react to that JSON and convert into like the steps, and then particular browser will send the response to the Selenium. Actually, that's how is the Selenium architecture. Okay, but in Cypress there is no in between, no one is available. You are directly in interacting with the real browser. If it is Chrome, you are directly interacting with Chrome, Safari, Edge, Electron, whatever it is.
Okay, got it. You were trying to say the, I mean, like architecture wise, yeah. In Selenium, generally, there will be whatever the code you write, that Selenium
That's true.
server standalone converts that code
Yes,
using some W3C protocols. So it would
it is.
interact with the respective browser drivers, so that each
Yes,
browser driver will interact to respective browser. That is what the architecture of Selenium.
yes,
So
that
when
is
it
correct.
comes to the Cypress, it will directly interact with the native browsers.
Yes, that's perfect.
Oh,
And if required, I'll show you the comparison also. Okay. So this is a Cypress versus Selenium comparison, guys. Let me show that as well. So this is what like the added advantage actually. If you compare the Cypress as well as Selenium. Okay. So there are obviously a lot of points actually. Okay, but for you can consider because Selenium is having multiple PL programming language support, guys, wherein Cypress is only having two distinct programming language, that is JavaScript and TypeScript. Okay, Cypress can be used for unit testing by the developer as well. Selenium is usually mostly for the automation tester. Okay. Now here, whenever we are triggering our test case, guys, in Selenium, it is like little bit time consuming once you are having a good hands-on exposure and experience with Cypress. Cypress, if it is working in headless mode, it is very obviously 10x more than that faster actually. Okay, you don't need to have the engines for this particular Cypress, guys. Okay, in this thing you will have the respective driver integrations. Okay, then with respect to documentation, in Selenium you don't have that like detailed documentation. If you are stuck at any point in your Selenium architecture, what we usually do is we refer to some like Stack Overflow, like those type of answer, right? Over the like search, we try to search the exact error what we are getting, and then we try to kind of do the trial and error logic, right, in Selenium. But in case of Cypress, guys, everything is documented, each and every command, the usage, how to use, sample example, everything you will get for each and every command which Cypress is supporting. Okay. Now the few of the disadvantage with respect to Cypress, guys, Cypress is not having the direct support for multi-tab. Okay, multi-tab, like there are some scenarios, right, you open a new tab or something, right? So that support is like little bit you need to play around, you need to kind of have a work around actually, then only you will be having the support for multi-tab, guys. Okay,
so you
Cypress
mean to
is
say the window handles, right? So when you try to open three windows, if you want to switch between that windows, Cypress, we can't do in the
Cypress
Cypress.
we cannot do in Cypress, we cannot do
Then
in
is
Cypress.
in an
But
alternate option then?
there is a workaround. There is a workaround because we will be kind of playing with the attributes which Cypress has. Based on that, we will be able to perform that particular operation as well. Okay,
Yeah,
so we,
to lead that question, like, what about like, you know, navigating to different web with a different URL? Will it
yes,
support?
yes, it will support. That's what I told, right? Here we have some workaround. Okay, when I say
Okay.
workaround, basically there are few methods through which you will be able to handle multi-tab scenario, multi-window scenario.
Okay, okay, cool. And also,
But
like, because I raised my hand, I'll just drop my question here so I can stop
yeah,
asking questions. The
no
other thing
problem.
is like, with the integration to Cypress, Atlassian products like Jira, we got like a lot of third-party integrations for the test management tools. Uh,
Yes, we
I
will be
do
able,
know, yeah.
yeah, we will be able to integrate our Cypress code, or like you can say the notification, right? Those type of alerts to
Uh,
your Teams, to
no,
your
no, no,
Slack.
not with like these third-party integrations like Slack or Team. I'm saying
Hmm.
about test management tools. Like let's talk about like Zephyr.
Jira. You mean to say
Zephyr,
Jira, right?
yeah, with Jira, if we can like
Yes.
integrate like I got a test management to take this scenario. Yeah.
Hmm?
So all my test cases, test cycles, everything up there with version controlled, and I got like automation test right written down. So I know Zephyr supports it. I just want to understand like
How
all-in-one
it
test case.
is?
Yeah.
Yeah. So basically, if you consider TM, that is test management tools such as Jira, right? And now, if you want that whenever we are getting issue, or let's say your test case is getting failed, right? In Cypress Cloud, you will have various third party plugin support. Okay, whether it is X-ray, whether it is Basecamp,
Yeah.
you will be able to kind of move your snapshot from that particular window into your Jira dashboard with the respective steps, video, screenshot, and you just need to update the details about your issues, about the bugs, about that particular error.
No, I'm happy with that, like with the screenshots and stuff, because yeah, the tools like when we are creating a screenshot. What I'm asking is like, if we run in our CI/CD pipeline, the Cypress tests, yeah,
Mm-hmm.
like end-to-end tests. So basically, will it automatically show on our TM, like test management tool, like with the, let's say, again, how you mentioned like
It will
X-ray?
be, yes, I understood your question.
Yeah, yeah.
It will be showing the complete report after execution.
Yeah, yeah.
What?
Like, I got a test scenario like this is like a login test, and I got like
Mhm.
automation test integrate, like, we got from GitHub repo and we just like integrated to that. And when I see the CI/CD pipeline runs with Cypress integrated to GitHub, when we run there, like a nightly test run, will this automatically get updated like a pass or fail? Because I can see everything under like, in my test cycle or under the ticket, if it is like a future based test case.
So usually we will have that into our post action. Okay, whatever you are saying. Okay, we will usually have that inside our post tag. Okay, in our
Uh-huh.
CI/CD if we are kind of integrating with Jenkins. Okay, if you
Okay.
have the, let's say, YAML file for that particular this thing, right?
Yeah,
You will
yeah.
upload the YAML file, and whatever post action you want to perform. Okay, whether it is generating report to TDM, whether it is getting the report on over the email notification, right? All those scenarios wherein it will share the alerts, it will share the final report after testing, so that we can have it inside our post action into our YAML file or our Jenkins file.
Yeah, these things are bit not much
That is
visibility
our,
for me. Yeah, but again, I will get your support. Like if you can support me, that would be great
yes, yes,
ongoingly.
sure.
Thank you.
And
Sorry,
even
guys.
like if there are mobile related this thing, guys, okay, wherein you want the integration with browser stacks, you want the integration with lambda test, you want the integration with source lab, right? Those you can say plugins are available on the official site of Cypress.
So
Even
Cypress
that,
supports like mobile testing also. You say
yes, yes, yes.
that's
Mobile
good.
test, yes, mobile
Yeah.
testing as in like whatever test case we are executing over the web
Oh,
version,
on the mobile. Okay, brother, not the app testing. Okay,
not
got
the
it.
app, not
Yeah,
the app,
that's what I got confused. Yeah,
not
but
like
yeah, thank
API.
you. Yeah,
Yeah,
sorry guys, I might confuse somebody, but yeah,
no problem, no
thank
problem.
you. Cheers.
Yeah. So moving on, guys, as we are aware, Cypress and Selenium in the comparison, Cypress has only one, you can say, locator, which is like vastly used. That is CSS selector. You don't require anything other than that. Unlike in Selenium, we have multiple locators, like around 8 locator strategy, which we usually use. Then we have time travel, debugging, retry test. This all three scenarios, all these three features are default available into your Cypress. Okay, whereas these are not provided into your Selenium. That's the biggest advantage in your Cypress test cases. After that, we are having some like automatic wait, whereas Selenium has the concept of implicit, explicit, and the fluent wait, right? But in case of Cypress, we are having the wait inbuilt. Okay, if you want to update that timing and everything, that we will see in the like future session, how we can update that default value. Those all things we will see. Okay, and with respect to community, guys, it is having large user base and rapidly growing, as you are all aware. Like if you see the versioning, guys, versioning every 2 weeks there is an update with Cypress. Okay, today it is 13.9. Tomorrow, like next 1 week or let's say 1.5 week, it will update to 13.10. Okay, because obviously there are a lot of features which are getting add-ons to the Cypress. Okay, obviously there are latest version is obviously 13 plus. Okay, it might update in the near next 1 month or something. That is also possible, because every 2 weeks there is one release which is going on in your Cypress versioning actually. Okay, that is not the case with Selenium. Now moving on, guys.
Like
Mm,
one question, last question. Uh,
mhm.
Generally in the Selenium for cross-browser testing, we used to go for Selenium grid. So if you want to do cross-browser testing in the Cypress, is there any option for it, or how it is like, how functionality wise, how it supports here for cross-browser testing?
Cross browser testing, as you will be having multiple browser support, right? You will be able to trigger your test case at the same time in all the browser. Okay, because Cypress, as I mentioned, every time it is running your test case in the actual browser itself, right? So whatever browser locally is installed into your machine, whether it is a headed mode or headless mode, you just need to trigger a command. Okay, and all your test
రాసట్టు నొక్కుతున్నాను.
will be
ఆ,
triggered in those respective browser.
ఎన్నింటికి వెళ్ళారు?
Sorry, you mean to say
చిన్నది ఇక్కడ
like
అవును వచ్చాడులే. ఎన్నింటికి వెళ్ళారు అంటున్నా.
some disturbance?
Let me mute.
బాగానే ఎనిమిది అయింది, ఎక్కడ తిరుగుతున్నారు వీళ్ళు? ఉమ్.
Put everyone in mute. If you want, we'll unmute it and we'll ask your question.
తిన్నారా మీరు? సరేనమ్మా అయితే. అదే వచ్చారేమో అని చూసాను. వాళ్ళ తమ్ముడిని అక్కడ కూడా మురళి కూడా ఫోన్ అవుతారా? ఓకే.
Yeah, those who want to ask query, you can unmute, guys.
Actually, I was referring to that, like you said, right? We have that option. I mean, initially, default it will run on a browser we specified, and if you want to run on multiple browsers, then we need to explicitly mention those browsers so that whatever the test cases we have written, so those would be run in the respective browsers, whichever we they enable them in
Parallel
the
mode.
Cypress. Okay, I mean, will you be covering that one also? Like, I mean, how to do it from Cypress? Like,
Usually you need to update your config.js file. Okay, by modifying that particular file, you will be able to trigger all your test case in like cross browser testing, whatever we say, right? Whenever it comes to
yeah.
browser testing, we will be able to achieve that scenario.
Okay. So, I mean, in future, like, you will be covering up that kind of scenario also, right? Like cross
Yes,
browser.
yes,
Okay,
correct.
thank you.
So, guys, just to give you an like high level insight about Cypress, like unlike Selenium or like any of the automation tool, Cypress is having only two dependencies which should be available into your machine. Okay, one is everybody should have Node.js installed into your machine. Okay, simple, like you need to go to their official website. Okay, and from their official website you just need to install this node. Okay, second dependency which we have is like you need to have the editor. Usually Cypress has the best support with the VS Code editor, that is Visual Studio Code. We usually refer this particular editor whenever we are kind of writing our test case inside like Cypress. Okay, so I'll publish both the URL. Okay, so over here you just need to go to the official website of Node.js. Okay, and you will be able to get that respective this thing. Okay, so let me show you the that as well. Node.js downloads, you can just search it over here. You will get four options, like you can select as per your choice and you can install. Once it is installed, just try to run this command. Okay, it should print the respective version which you have installed. Okay, irrespective whether you are using Windows, whether you are using Mac, please try to check which, if you want to, let's say, have the installer, you can click on this, a particular file will be getting installed, and after that you just need to follow the instruction how you do usually your normal files. Click next, 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 and after that the Node.js will be installed into your machine. Once it is done, you just need to go to terminal. Okay, you just need to go to terminal. Okay, and in terminal you just need to write node minus version. Okay, once you do that, you will be able to see the version which is installed into your machine, node minus minus version. Okay, so once you do that, you will be able to see the version. Okay, same thing, you will be able to see right now it is 20.15. Okay, that's okay, you just need to have greater than 11 for Cypress. Okay, second thing which you need to do, so I'll publish this URL link as well over here. Okay, so let me do that. The first prerequisite is this one. Second prerequisite which we need to have whenever we will start with the Cypress part, that is VS Code download, guys. Okay, VS Code download. So you can go to their official website. Okay, it is completely free, guys. You don't need to have anything. Just click on download for Windows, for whichever OS you are using, whether it is Windows or Mac. Go to this page and try to download. Okay, and once you are like, you will be downloaded, you will see the icon like this. Okay, you just need to click next, 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 and you will have the desktop icon, whatever you can do. And after that, everything we will be like all the project, like the our workspace will be in the VS Code, guys. Okay, so these are the two prerequisite which is required for you can say complete like our Cypress part. Okay, once this is done, we will be triggering, or we will be running some of the npm command, guys. Okay, running npm command. Okay, what is npm? Npm is nothing but node package manager. Okay, now what is node package manager? Like in our Selenium, we have the maven repository. Everyone remember, right? We have something called as maven repository, right, wherein you kind of download few of the dependencies whenever you require into your pom file, right? So all those things you do via mavenrepository.com. So similar to that, in our this thing, right, you will have everything inside our node package manager, guys. Okay, node package manager js.com. So whatever dependencies which we will be required into our automation this thing, right, we will try to search those over here. Even Cypress is present over here only, guys. Okay, so when you search for Cypress, you will get the complete node module for that particular. You can see over here it is published 4 days ago. So right now the version is 13.13.1. Okay, so that's what I'm saying. Every 2 weeks, every 1 week, 1.5 weeks, they are trying to update their repo, guys. Okay, so this is the actual project, like actual tool which we are going to cover, and this is the official GitHub page for Cypress, guys. Okay, you can go to this particular section, you will be able to see a lot of code which is obviously open this thing, like you can kind of go through this. And usually those node modules and everything will be mentioned over here. But our this thing, our role will be to kind of download this and have it into our, you can say, respective folder structure. And once you this is one time activity, guys. Once you are done with this, you will be able to trigger all your test case into your Cypress runner. Okay, I'll explain you what is Cypress runner. I know I have used this term, but like most probably like tomorrow we will discuss in detail about the first test case in Cypress, and we'll obviously explore more advantage with respect to Cypress. Okay, what are the added advantage what Cypress is providing in terms of, you can say, coding and whatever, what are the folder structure, we will discuss in detail about the same. Okay, how we will do the UI framework, how we will do the API framework at high level. Okay, so just at high level, just to show you guys, this is how you usually consider VS code will look like, guys. Okay, and this is like obviously my VS code is for time being, you can consider I have like done this zoom in, actually zoom out, sorry, for just to make sure that everyone can view whatever I'm kind of practicing. We will be focusing on like this particular structure, guys. And over here, whatever code we are doing, guys, these are some demo you can say files which we usually consider whenever you are kind of referring to all the test cases, like basic test cases, guys. Once we are done with that, after that we will follow the project framework using POM, using BDD Cucumber, and the API framework. So everything whatever we will do is like completely on the VS Code, guys. Okay. So we will obviously discuss from scratch how we will create the workspace, how we will create the folder structure and everything, and how we can go to the advanced concepts such as CI/CD, Jenkins triggering test cases, and even some third-party integration wherever it is required, guys. Anybody has any queries, doubts, questions?
Like
Every
it's actually understanding of Cypress and Selenium wise advantage and disadvantage is okay, but when it comes to the Playwright and Cypress, you said like some like 80% of that everything is same similar, but whatever
Mhm.
that in comes to the rest of the part, like what are the advantages between these two? Could you please give a brief overview of those two tools?
So basically, guys, Playwright you can consider, because see, Playwright is purely kind of again based on, because Playwright has support for few of the more programming language actually. Okay, so when you go to the playwright.dev, right? So everything you will see like cross browser, right? You can say cross browser wherein it is supporting WebKit and cross platform. Okay, so here you can see the advantage. It is in TS, it is in JS, and it is supporting three more PL, guys. That's what I'm talking: Python, .NET, and Java. Getting my point? So it has support for three more programming language compared to Cypress. Cypress is having the support for TS and only JS, guys. Clear? That's the only
Yeah.
difference you will find when you try to compare your Playwright test cases versus Cypress test cases. Because see, again over here it is built on Node.js. You will be able to do the API testing. You will have very good documentation. So those things are also present into your Cypress as well. Okay, so in Cypress also you will have very good documentation. When I say documentation, all the commands whatever we are using, guys, it is like it is very detailed, guys. Whatever command we will be using. Okay, so that's you will see a lot of documentations over here also. And if you consider, both are kind of getting boom recently, right? Even Cypress, even Playwright. So I would say, I won't say like it is like 70 Playwright or 30 Cypress, nothing like that. If you consider right now the current market, in current market it is actually 60 50 to 60% right now, still it is Selenium, guys. Okay, remaining 40% is the mixture of Playwright, Cypress, Catalan, other you can say other tools, guys. Okay, Prover, other whatever paid tools are available, including that as well. Okay, yes, right now people are migrating their test case from Selenium to Cypress. They are migrating their API test cases also to from Selenium to Cypress. Right now, what that's what usually like current you can say market condition in terms of automation I'm talking about.
Okay, thank you. So the rest will remain same only, right? Only in terms of supporting the languages, only it's different, but the rest will remain same.
Folder structure and everything will be having some different UI, guys. Okay, with respect to Playwright. Okay, but yes, language support and everything, syntax wise, JS as well as TS. Okay, for both this language, it will remain same. Okay, whatever strategy we will be using, because whatever strategy we will be using in terms of writing our test case, right? So that strategy will remain same. Okay, other than that, only thing is the layout with respect to folder structure that might get differ. That's it, nothing else.
Okay, thank you.
Okay,
Hey, I have a
Uh,
couple of questions.
sure,
Is there
go
any
ahead, please.
plugin or anything available to convert Selenium scripts to Cypress? or is it possible to run the Selenium scripts in Cypress framework?
Webhook. So webhook usually there are few you can say plugins which are available over the this thing, but those are not working yet. Like the review is not that good over the npm also. Okay, but a lot of people have tried that, but still you will not have the plugin which has like 4 plus rating right now. Okay, people have tried the record and playback, people have tried the, let's say, Cypress recorder, those type of plugins. Right now it is available, but those are not you can say trusted actually. Right now I won't say there is a plugin, but yes, we will be having scenario wherein you can generate your test cases automatically through Cypress recorder. That is possible. UI test cases or API test cases you can trigger, and you can kind of have it into your cy file, cy.js file. That is possible.
Okay. And is there any mechanism available to convert Selenium scripts to Cypress? Do you know anything is available in the market?
Hmm. uh, if you are asking the direct, you can say you will load your Selenium test case and you will get your Cypress test case, then for that I'll check that, but I believe there is no such plugin right now which is available in the market. But yes, right now whatever I have seen, most of the people, they are actually manually writing, I mean they are creating their project from scratch in Cypress actually. Okay, because see, the way of writing the Selenium code, right, will be obviously in Java, correct? You will use Java, correct? And now Cypress is purely supporting JS and TS, right? So syntax wise, there will be a lot of changes because the structure how we write the classes in our Selenium framework is altogether different than how we write in Cypress. Okay, so there will be a lot of, you can say, issues whenever you kind of come across with this type of plugin also. But yes, there can be some plugin, but right now I am not really confident about that plugin. People are kind of writing their code from scratch actually. That's what I have seen most of the people right now in the market.
Got it. Thank you.
Yeah. Okay, so I'll stop here guys. Any which ways, like we will discuss yeah, I think there is few more questions. Let
Yeah.
me
Um,
see the. Oh,
yeah,
Where do
just
we
one
use
question from my end. So you will be teaching the JavaScript or from the scratch, or like how it will be? Like you are expecting us to know JavaScript?
no, I'll be focusing only on one PL, one programming language, that will be JS, JavaScript.
Yeah,
Okay.
so you will be starting it from the scratch, right?
Yes, JS obviously
Okay.
from we will have multiple sessions on JS.
Okay. Thank you.
Hey, another question. Till how extent you will be covering from components testing standpoint?
See, from component testing, I'll be going with E2E actually initially, right, for our end-to-end test cases. And later on, let's say if you are kind of focusing on unit test cases, okay, at that time we can kind of have some, let's say, this thing, component testing as well.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah.
from my side?
Yeah, go ahead, please.
Yeah. It supports only web application or does it support SAP automation as well?
SAP automation, I mean, is it like ideally it will be purely for web application, okay? It will not support the desktop app also, okay? Whatever is available over the UI web, this thing, right? It will support only those type of application.
Okay.
Yeah.
And one more question. Like what about inbuilt functionality? Like, does it easy, like any drag and drop functionality is available, or we need to write from scratch?
Whatever drag and drop, mouse event, keyboard event, all those are available in Cypress. You
Mhm.
don't need to kind of write from scratch. Okay, it's just like what we have in our action class in Selenium, right? Same way you will be able to have few obviously methods classes which are kind of because Cypress, if it is not supporting drag and drop, there are various third party plugins which can be integrated with Cypress, and you will be able to achieve your drag and drop related or upload logic or file download, file upload, all those scenarios, whatever you are thinking of.
Means it like it is similar like Selenium only. Like we need to
It is,
write the code.
you need to write the code, okay, but
Mhm.
uh, yes, you need to write the code, obviously. You need to
Okay,
visit
got it.
that particular application, inspect that upload button, all those, whatever we follow in our traditional coding style. Same you need to do over here as
Okay, the only difference between Selenium and yeah, this, Cypress
well.
is
Yeah, you
efficiency.
can, yes, yes. In terms of speed, in terms of the folder structure, right? Those are the major changes if you compare Selenium and Cypress. You will get the real-time wait. You don't need to have implicit, explicit, those type of wait. You don't need to provide thread.sleep, all those things, whatever we do in Selenium, right? You don't need to have those type of scenarios here.
Okay, got it.
Yeah,
Thank you.
yeah, well.
Cypress have its own IDE, or we can use the like IntelliJ and Eclipse.
See, the recommended is VS Code. Okay, you can use
Okay.
IntelliJ, PyCharm, ID, other IDE also. Okay, but the recommended, like even by the Cypress people, it is VS Code.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay, so I think we are good today. I would request everyone to kind of, if possible, you can drop your this thing name and let's say WhatsApp number over the chat window if it is possible. And for the this thing, right, for the confirmation part, you can just reach out to like the number which is over the WhatsApp group, guys. Okay, so you can reach out to them, and I would request everyone to kind of put your name and like WhatsApp number over the chat window if it is possible for you guys.
Last question.
Okay.
So regarding the class, right? So will we get any notification that the class is going to start at this
Yes,
time?
yes.
Like,
The actual session, when it is going to start, you will get the detailed info about same. Okay,
okay,
and
okay,
also like right now we will have this demo for like around like 2 more day, or I'm not sure about that. 2 more day, I think. Okay, like tomorrow, as well as like on Monday, or let's say next week, whenever it is. Like you will get the notification about that, and after that we will actually start with our like actual session, guys. Okay, so
okay.
I would request everyone to please drop your number, WhatsApp number, and your name over the chat window if it is possible. Okay, which will help us to kind of just reach out to you for same.
One last question.
Go ahead,
Like
please.
Cypress, yeah, Cypress we use normally for Java application like web application automation, or do we can we use for C hash like .NET application as well?
Unless and until if it is hosted over this thing, right, browser, and you are able to operate your application via UI in browser, any of the browser, we will be able to achieve that whatever whatever scenario you are seeing.
Got it. Thank you.
Okay.
You'll teach even a headless thing also, right?